What's up, SGL? Welcome back for a late Saturday night stream where we play the final match of this week to decide the final lower finalist to go against the Cinco Doce. This match is between two teams that have had a bit of a rivalry in SGL. They've had a ton of good matches, ton of good back and forth affairs in the league. And it's good to see these two face off against each other here. Of course, I am talking about KC Cauldron of Sporting Kansas City and Axon Army of Portland Timbers. Yeah, Trash Moon, it was a really bad time. Like 30 minutes before the kickoff of the first match, I had to be pulled away. And I couldn't get back to my computer until 11 p.m. Eastern. By then, basically all the matches got played out except for Steel Army versus EC Eternal. But even then, you know, I couldn't get that going because they're in the middle of it, so I just let them be. Cyberburn, good to see you in chat, bro. Yeah, exactly. It's life. Life happens. It is what it is. But yeah, this match is something I'm really looking forward to. Both teams, you know, when they're at their best, they're pretty much unstoppable. Axon Army, in the form of Timbers Army in past seasons, have had a lot of trouble facing off against KC Cauldron, especially trying to break down their defense. And there have been so many instances where they seem like they've had the upper hand, and then KC Cauldron will just turn it around and shift the momentum to their end, and the game would just completely flip over its head. Now, I know a bunch of people are already watching Game 7 between San Antonio and Spurs and OKC. I'm not going to say this is going to rival it, but if you want to put this on the side and watch it as well, it'll serve some good entertainment. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my words right now. Now, a bunch of you might be wondering, hey, you're streaming tonight. What about Thursday? We had 3 matches played out on Thursday. For those of you who are watching now, I was supposed to get that streaming, but 30 minutes before I wanted to start the stream, I got pulled away. And I had to deal with something else away from my computer, so I couldn't get back to my computer until pretty much all the matches were done. The third match between EC Eternal and Steel Army was already underway, and I didn't want to interrupt them, so I just let them be and let them finish it off. But this one, we shouldn't have an issue. We are going to be kicking off very soon. Both teams are in. Let's get started with the final match of the week and what might be one of the most entertaining matches of this season. If you have any predictions for this match, feel free to put it in. I honestly don't know which way it's going to go. I feel like it might be Axon Armies, but I've said stuff like this in the past about Axon Army, and then they would just completely flip it on it, and then the match would be resulting in a completely different way. But we are kicking off right now. Here we go. What a start for KC Cauldron. As you can see right here, they're already cranking up the pressure. Axon Army on the back foot. And this Axon Army team is kind of different. It's not your conventional team. No Loy Boy, no Rydog, no Nelly, of course. In the lineup, you have... Wait until I get this refreshed and fixed up. Sorry about that. Canty, Hamburger Herder, and Piglet. So 2 Axon Rose players from Season 10 teaming up with Piglet, and somehow KC Cauldron couldn't score. Serrano saving Smitty's shot, and Axon Army get away with it right there, but for how much longer will they be able to hold? Because KC Cauldron are keeping this pressure going. Fatality to Smitty. Smitty couldn't get a good substantial touch towards the goal, but he's going to take it away on his own, pitch it off the corner. Touch right to the middle. Nice pressure from Hamburger Herder. Now Piglet's diving in, but now Canty needs to get back. And what a counterattack from KC Cauldron. That is what you call a textbook transition. Great pass out to Smitty from Serrano. Smitty with the cherry pick, perfectly placed at the top right corner of the orange net. And KC Cauldron take the lead with a wonderful goal. both Canty and Hamburger Herder not looking too bad, but once Casey Cauldron step up the pressure, they have to make it count. And Axon Army have made their chance count. Piglet with a shot, Smitty with a great save, and Hamburger Herder diving in. Smitty couldn't get there. And what an equalizer for Axon Army. This is a big goal for them, one apiece already. That is the strongest KC lineup, folks. And this Axon Army side consists of two players who played in the championship division in Season 10, in Hamburger Herder and Canty. And Serrano could have brought the lead back, but he just gets the shot off the crossbar. But just to give you an idea of how incredible this performance is from Axon Army right now, two champ players teaming up with one Piglet from the Premier against three top players from the Premier division in Serrano, Smitty, and Fatality. And right now it has been all KC Cauldron, but it's one apiece. Can Axon Army get a huge scalp right here in game one? Right now they're doing pretty well to keep this KC Cauldron team at bay. Nice attack as well, but Fatality sees this off. Nice rotation there though from Hamburger Herder, keeping the pressure going. Canty looking for a bump, couldn't get any. Now Smitty beats one, leaves it for Fatality, who's gonna take it to the flanks, creates a chance off the backboard. It doesn't go far enough. Now Serrano takes over. We've seen him create chances and goals out of nothing. But in this case, he is trying to play using his whole team, and Smitty brings the magic. Smitty getting a flip reset very late on, beating Canty in the process. What a goal from Smitty. His name in the game used to be Magic, Magic with a J, and he definitely produced some magic right there. KC Cauldron with the lead yet again, but don't count this Axon Army side out. They can very easily get back. They've been playing with a level of intensity and pressure that I haven't seen from them in a while. And this KC Cauldron side needs to respect these boys for sure. Right now, the Sporting KC players doing a good job of keeping as much of the ball in the orange half as possible. Now, pass straight to Fatality, but he just couldn't get himself to that ball right there. Great pass. Probably a bit too early for Fatality to react to. Serrano letting it go for Smitty. Tries to get a solo dribble going with a flip reset. Gets a 50, but not really good for him. Canty tried to get a touch off the corner, but it was way too weak. Hamburger Herder pitches it off the corner, but it doesn't go towards the middle. And Serrano gets it out with relative comfort. Now plays it towards the net. Piglet cannot get to it. And Serrano was guaranteed a goal in this game. And he gets the goal that he was looking for. Off the side wall with a bit of pace. Piglet with all the boost couldn't adjust quickly enough to get to it. Great goal from KC Cauldron yet again. Now they have that 2-goal lead. Axon Army have a whole lot of work to do to get back into this, because now KC Cauldron are well and truly settled in. Catching up to the chat right now. I like that. I gotta learn how to replicate it. The flip reset from Smitty, absolutely. That was a great goal. And now Fatality gets involved in the goals. His first of this matchup. All KC Cauldron players have a goal now. Smitty faking Canty off with 0 boost. Fatality with an open net. 4-1 with 1 minute 11 seconds to go. KC Cauldron have run away with it in game one. And just for some added context, we're not going to be switching servers this matchup. KC Cauldron has given the okay to have this whole match played out in US West. And I think for them, they should be okay, because a bunch of these boys have played on US West before. For now, they've looked pretty good. Adipo, good to see you in chat. By the way, congratulations on that incredible win over Steel Army. Massive result for you guys. You guys are going to be facing off against EC Defiance in the lower final, a Seattle Derby in the championship to determine the finalists to go against EM Dallas Burn. Hopefully that gets played sooner than later. As a heads up, we won't be getting 2 full weeks to complete the season. We'll be getting the next full week and then the half of the week after that, because the World Cup will be starting on Thursday, June 11th. So we have essentially from now 11 days to complete the whole thing on both divisions. And Axe and Army are finishing off pretty strong right here despite the 4-1 deficit. But spending a good bit of time in front of the blue goal, but just couldn't create a good opportunity. And KC Cauldron see off game 1 after being pegged back with that equalizer from Hamburger Herder. KC Cauldron storm ahead and finish this game 4-1 to get a big start in the lower semifinal. Now, chat. One thing I have to remind everyone, for those of you who are just joining it, no server switches. We're going to stay in the same lobby. So unless the server crashes, like Trashloon just alluded to, we're not going to be switching around. Hopefully that makes for a better match experience for both the players and you guys in the chat. Look at how well Axe and Army played right here, by the way. Really good performance from all of Piglet, Hamburger Herder, and Canty. Good distribution of touches as well. Not like one player was trying to take over. But as expected, KC Cauldron did have more of the ball, got more of the action, and as a result, got 13 shots out in total. We'll see if there are going to be any subs. I would not be surprised if both teams have a good number of players around to get everyone involved. And as you see there at the top left corner, Serrano is subbed out for Thoringold. We haven't seen him since KC Cauldron got destroyed 4-0 by El Matador. And now he is back to make an appearance against the same Axe and Army team as game 1. Thoringold comes in and gets his first goal of this matchup. He kick-started that attack. A touch from Canty that set up the assist for Fatality perfectly. And then Thoringold taps it in with a 67 mile per hour, 107 kilometer per hour touch, courtesy of Alan's Bangazoli.com radar gun. KC Cauldron take the lead very early on in game 2. Good spell of pressure here, though, from Axe and Army once again. But they got to be careful not to get dismantled on the counter. Canty with a 1-on-1! And somehow, Axe and Army couldn't get the goal right there. Hamburger Herder diving in, but got demoed. KC Cauldron were all up. I think did well enough to get back and recover. That could have been another equalizer right there. Axe and Army still down 1-0. Exactly, Trashel. They're warming up. They'll get going. And they have to get going now, because what a save that is from Canty to deny the second for Cauldron, and a good clearance for Hamburger Herder to see it out. But the pressure is still going. Fatality diving in, gets beaten. Now Smitty touches it back and tries to kickstart another KC Cauldron attack. This is something that he has been doing consistently. Axe and Army got to make sure they don't give him too much time, because he has brought this ball up with relative ease. Couldn't get the bump on Canty. Mind you, it's tough to get a bump on a Dominus, given how thin that car is in general. But right now, Axe and Army have done pretty well to bring the ball forward, but they're all out of boost. Canty doing all he could to get the 50. And now the pass out from Thoringold to Fatality. Fatality, though, could not get the touch. Good bit of boost from both Hamburger Herder and Piglet. A double commit means that whilst the ball does get cleared, they have to regroup. And KC Cauldron have time to settle in at the back. Nice bit of play right there, though, from Axe and Army. A bump attempt. 50 now from Canty. But Smitty gets all the time to build up another attack. A double commit there from Fatality. Now the ball's loose in the midfield. Thoringold faking him out, trying to keep it slow and steady. But Hamburger Herder gets the center into the middle. Nobody there from Axe and Army. Everyone holding back. Thoringold with a nice touch, looking for the double touch. Couldn't even get to the ball. Piglet touches it away. Smitty now keeps up the pressure. Fatality off the corner. He centers it perfectly for Thorgold, who gets it into the top left corner. Thorgold truly does have his shooting boots on. What a finish right there. His second, KC Cauldron's second, and Axon Army now need to change things up because this trio has gone as far as it could, but KC Cauldron have taken control of this match 2-0 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. I honestly don't see KC Cauldron losing it from here. Axon Army need a goal from this attack though. Nice bounce up, perfectly set up. Hamburger Herder with a really good aerial to get to that ball before both KC Cauldron defenders. Thorgold off the backboard, Smitty up in the air, and Hamburger Herder gets to it first. His second of this match. Axon Army are back. That is what they needed to get back into this game, and they have gotten the goal they were looking for. Still a lot of time for them to equalize as well, which they might off this kickoff, but Smitty read the situation well and saw that attack off. Now can Fatality make something out of nothing right here. Touch the pass, Hamburger Herder. The ball is dangling in front of the line. Smitty misses the ball completely. Fatality lets it go as well. The net is open. Kanti's trying to set up his teammates, but both of them fell back. And Axon Army lose the momentum. They need to rebuild. KC Cauldron trying to look for the third, but Kanti intercepts, gets a 50 on Smitty. Piglet loses his challenge. Fatality gets it bouncing off the corner for third goal, who smashes it into the back of the net from high up the arena. His hat trick, and KC Cauldron get that 2-goal lead back. Big goal for KC Cauldron. They were kind of starting to lose momentum, but that goal was what they needed. Great finish once again from Thorgold. They have not been missing Serrano thanks to his performance. And Fatality couldn't get that in. Somehow the ball stayed out with 2 bounces off the frame of the net. Insane luck right there for Axon Army. KC Cauldron are being made to work for all their goals, but they have done a great job of creating chances and finishing them off as well. Can Smitty get something going right here? We saw him with an insane flip reset. Can he get another off the backboard? Fatality gets the fourth for KC Cauldron with 60 seconds remaining. 73 miles per hour, 116 kilometer per hour, banger, courtesy of Allen'sBangersOnly.com radar gun, and KC Cauldron have the 3-goal gap that they were looking for. They can now breathe easy. They are up 4-1. And that is a proper gut punch for this Axon Army trio. Hamburger Herder, Kanti, and Piglet have performed admirably, but once KC Cauldron stepped up their game and got into their comfort zone. Look at the passing game coming to fruition. Smitty with a far post shot. Good save by Hamburger Herder to get it away. Now he has a chance to get an attack going. Beats one, gets a 50 on the second. Piglet's right there, but he couldn't beat Thorgold. The ball clears out to the midfield. Kanti misses his touch. He needs to recover. Gets a boost as well. And Smitty's here wasting time, getting the 50 off. Thorgold with another! And what a finish yet again! Thorgold is a goal-scoring machine. He gets his fourth to extend KC Cauldron's lead to 4. Game set. KC Cauldron are up by 2, and we are going to be going into game 3 with Axon Army needing to do a whole lot to get back into this. Maybe some subs might help, but for now, this trio has gone as far as they could. Another goal, potentially. Nope. Kanti's dominance couldn't beat Thorgold's. Hamburger Herder pinches it off, and the ball bounces down before it enters the net. KC Cauldron with an emphatic 5-1 win. They are looking really hot right now, and they look well set to go into the lower final, unless Axon Army kickstart another comeback. So I'm trying to keep up with a whole lot right now. Because, of course, that NBA Game 7 is also going on right now between the Spurs and the Thunder. So I'm trying to keep up with that as well. But let me get my focus back into this. Insane Thorin goal performance right here. He needed this as well after that disappointing first match loss against El Matador in the upper quarterfinals. What a great performance that was from him. The goal scorer for this team with Fatality and Smitty both with 2 assists each. They look like a well-oiled machine with him in there. But we are now going to be going into game 3. Will we see some subs from either team or both? This is it for Axon Army. They need to get a game win so that they can get on the board and get some momentum on their side. But they have stuck with the same trio as the first 2 games. Canty, Hamburger Herder, and Piglet facing off against Fatality, Thorin Gold, and Serrano, who subs in for Smitty. Here we go. Another sub for KC Cauldron. 0 subs for Axon Army. How far will this trio go? They have played really, really well. But KC Cauldron have now found themselves in a comfortable position. And they are hunting down the first goal right there. Canty with a double jump to get that save. 0 boost wasted, but the pressure is still going. Canty passing it off to the side to Piglet, who touches it forward. Canty gonna look for a backboard touch, but he couldn't even get that ball. Piglet diving in for that 50 himself. Hamburger Herder with an awkward touch. Fatality couldn't punish him for it. Axon Army recovered just in time to get that save. And now they're in the blue half already. 2 good 50s from Hamburger Herder. Ball going to Canty, who misses it. But Piglet's there to take over. Fatality takes that... Serrano takes that ball away. Fatality to Serrano. Serrano misses. Thorgold's going to look for a soft 50 right there. Works to perfection. But Canty is the one who takes control of the ball and clears it away for Axon Army to regroup. Fatality could have had a finish right there, just barely missed the ball. Now KC Cauldron retreat. Serrano with a 50 to get the ball in favor of Thorin Gold, but he pitches it right to Piglet, towards Canty. To Piglet going for the shot. He was just diving in for a hopeful touch, just like Hamburger Herder right there. Now Axon Army needs to go back because the ball is going towards the net. Piglet with a nice save. Ball popped up straight to the middle. Fatality trying to play a pass, but Serrano doesn't have the boost to get to the ball. And now Piglet with 0 boost, working it forward himself. Canty diving in for a 50. I really like the way Axon Army play. They always have a player to get a challenge going no matter what. So KC Cauldron always have to put in some work to get the ball forward, just like now. Shot on goal, just off target, but Canty gets credit for the save. Now a pass from Serrano to Thorin Gold. Nice pop-up, gets the 50 off Fatality. The ball goes away from the net. And now someone from Axon Army needs to take over. Hamburger Herder with a loose touch though. Fatality just gets it to Axon Army. And now KC Cauldron keep it in the midfield. Are they gonna go for a solo play right here? Serrano goes for a 50 instead. And Thorin Gold takes it away. Oh, this ball is perfectly set up for Hamburger Herder! What a double save! Serrano and Thorin Gold combined to keep it out! And the ball couldn't go back towards the net yet again! Serrano takes it away! That could have been the first for Axon Army, but Thorin Gold and Serrano combined to keep it 0-0. Ooh, they're gonna rue that missed opportunity. A decent shot, but not enough power to beat KC Cauldron. But now a second chance right here. Another shot. Canty looking for a bump. Counter attack from Cauldron, but Canty stops it. And Piglet takes over with 0 boost. Canty now needs to get involved. Loose touch. Hamburger Herder right there to see it off. Gets a second, but gets a 50 off of Serrano. Couldn't get the mid boost. Serrano took over. He needs to go back and recover. He does. Serrano clears it out to the other end. Just Hamburger Herder at the back, and he gets it away. Fatality keeping the momentum going, but he has to go back. He doesn't have the boost to keep this going. Nice 50 right there. And now Axon Army finally get it out. Canty has a shot on goal. Looking for the double. Hamburger Herder. He takes it all the way to the opposite corner. That should have been the first for Axon Army. They get away with... KC Cauldron get away with it. And now it's Axon Army's turn to get away with it. A shot on goal off target. You gotta make the most of your chances. Both teams haven't done it. Piglet had the chance to get it there as well, but he couldn't get to the ball. Both teams are riding their luck defensively. Still 0-0 as we enter the final minute. Who is going to take over this game 3? Who is going to go on to game 4 in that advantageous position? Will it be Axon Army getting one game back, or will it be KC Cauldron with match points? It's looking likely to be KC Cauldron, but once again, no shot on target. Serrano off the backboard. Throwing gold! Powers it in! And you felt that coming for KC Cauldron. Great pass from Serrano. Piglet couldn't get to the ball. Thorigold powers it in. 71 miles per hour, 113 kilometers per hour, courtesy of AlensBangersOnly.com radar gun. And that is a banger to savor for KC Cauldron. That might take them to match point unless Axon Army get the equalizer with about 30 seconds remaining. They're doing fairly decent to get some attacks going, but they just cannot create a good goal-scoring opportunity. Final 10 seconds. They got to get the ball forward. This is perfectly set up for Cauldron. Another shot off target, this time from Serrano. Last chance right here, but Canty cannot keep it up. KC Cauldron are now on match point. What a huge Game 3 win that was. Both teams missing their chances, struggling to get a shot on target. But it's Thorigold who saves the day, courtesy of a Serrano assist. What is Axon Army's response going to be here? They need to change things up fast. Wait, a dive fall. I'm just catching up to the chat. Did the Thunder, is it game over? Did the Thunder lose? Or Trash, you could tell me as well, because I know you're keeping track of it too. They lost? Damn. So it's San Antonio versus, oh my God, that's going to be an insane final. Damn, the Thunder lost, eh? Well, no 2 in a row for them. Holy. And speaking of which, we might not be getting a 2 in a row for Axon Army, because Timbers Army did win the league last season, but here they are on the brink of elimination and finishing their season in 4th place potentially. Here we go, game 4 kicking off right now. Smitty throwing gold at Serrano now. Fatality on the bench, and it's Smitty who starts it off strong for KC Cauldron. 10 seconds in. An unfortunate touch by Canty sets it up perfectly for Smitty, who taps it in. And KC Cauldron are already up 1-0 in game 4. Oh, might they get the equalizer right here? Thorigold is already back to see off that kickoff strat. Smitty powering it towards the backboard. Second touch, what a save from Piglet! But he cannot keep it going. Hamburger Herder keeps it out though. Keeping the goal difference to 1 and keeping the Axon Army heads held high. These Portland Timbers boys don't know when to quit. They will keep it going. Never say never. They want to keep this up. They want to keep their season on. And they're looking for the equalizer. Canty off target. Piglet keeps it going. Canty keeps it going. Piglet's right there. And that is a rabbit out of the hat. 1 pop, 2 pop. Serrano gets beaten. Open net for Piglet. A goal out of nothing for Axon Army, but that is exactly what they needed. This trio has stuck for this whole match. They may not be as skilled on paper. They may not be as fast, but they are certainly keeping up the intensity and keeping this KC Cauldron team on their toes. But KC Cauldron with a moment of quality, and Serrano gets the second courtesy of Smitty, an assist this time instead of a goal. Serrano seeing it off. 2-1. Just after the equalizer. Axon Army got to do it all over again. They have to respond real quick. Smitty's sitting on the mid boost for the goal they let in. Hey, man, he's trying to do a catalysm. It can work. It can work, but you can get punished. Speaking of punished, can Axon Army punish KC Cauldron right here? Nice pressure once again. Now the ball's loose in the midfield, though. They didn't have anyone to go for that. Nice 50, though. The ball's back in towards the the blue goal mouth. Serrano trying his best to keep it out, but can't he? Just trying to play into the middle, doesn't get a solid touch. Smitty, though, with a flip reset, takes it away. Serrano pops it forward. Can he create a chance? He's going to look for the bump. Missed touch from Hamburger Herder. Thorngold gets bumped. He couldn't get a clean touch right there. And Axon Army are making it as difficult as possible for KC Cauldron to get that third goal, but they have to keep it going because KC Cauldron are back there yet again. These Sporting KC boys are looking to go into the lower final to face off against the Cinco Doce. And they are one step away, 2-1 up with 2 minutes 50 seconds remaining. Axon Army, though, are keeping this going. Good pass towards Hamburger Herder, shot on net, but no power, no placement too. Smitty sees it off. Not far enough, though. Canty lets it go. Somebody needs to go there for Axon Army. Piglet finally does, but he's too late. And now Axon Army needs to defend yet again. Thorngold looking for a solo effort. And it took 2 players from Axon Army to see that off and take it to the other end. It's a team effort defensively for these Portland Timbers boys. KC Cauldron have been on top of this game 4 so far. But all it takes is one moment of magic. One singular mistake, one moment out of nothing, just like Axon Army's equalizer, and the game is all square yet again for them, but it's KC Cauldron who are taking control. Smitty off of the backboard, 4 touches in a row, couldn't get the final touch, and KC Cauldron couldn't get their third. Now they have to defend. Catchy off the backboard. Is there anyone from Axon Army to see this off? Piglet couldn't get the ball. Thorngold there before him. And now it's KC Cauldron's turn to attack. Spin a back and forth affair. Might have resulted in a goal for Smitty. He goes over. Thorngold off the frame. It's still 2-1 to the Cauldron. Axon Army are still in this game 4. Hamburger Herder keeping it in the midfield, but not for long. Smitty now off the side wall towards the backboard. Piglet needed to get that save. That ball was going in towards the net. Gets it out to the midfield. Someone needs to challenge Smitty. Canty with a good 50 right there, but he couldn't get Thorngold. Hamburger Herder going all the way up, playing it off of the that corner area. Now Piglet with a nice touch. Pops it up for Hamburger Herder. Good defending yet again. Smitty credited with the save right there. A nice double touch to bring it out to the other end. Serrano is all on his own. Does he have enough to get a goal? He couldn't even get that on target by the time he got to the ball. The ball just got rolled up to the backboard. But now KC Cauldron get a second chance. Smitty looking for a double right there. He doesn't need to get a goal. Thorngold is right there. The goal scorer for Cauldron gets himself on to the score sheet. And it's 3-1 for KC Cauldron with 40 seconds remaining. They are getting one step closer to going into the lower final and facing off against La Cinco Doce. Caesar, good to see you in chat. Yep, that's right. The Thunder did lose. But this San Antonio team has been phenomenal, as has been KC Cauldron tonight. Axon Army have tried all they could, but now they've run out of steam. KC Cauldron have taken over. And you know what? As much as this looks like it's going to be a sweep in the end, Axon Army don't deserve to get swept. What an incredible performance from Canty, Piglet, and Hamburger Herder. 2 players from the championship division teaming up with 1 Premier Division player. Incredible performance from those boys, but now it is game, set, and match. Smitty getting the goal to seal the deal, and KC Cauldron are now in the lower final, facing off against the Cinco Doce. Axon Army finish off season 10.5 in 4th place. Looks like, okay, I thought KC Cauldron were going to go for the 5th. Thorngold says, no, I'm not going to go for a goal. I'm going to finish it off. Game, set, and match. KC Cauldron are through to the lower final. Axon Army finish off this mini season in 4th place. But let's give a shout out to Piglet, Hamburger Herder, and Canty. They performed admirably tonight. Okay, time to breathe. Well, you know what? I was not expecting Canty and Hamburger Herder to step up their game to this extent. These two looked really good against this KC Cauldron side. Unfortunately for them, KC Cauldron are at that level where, you know, when they're on their game, even when they're rotating Thorngold in, they look like a top tier team. And they just looked unbeatable tonight. Skyline, thank you for the 100 bits yet again, bro. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it, my man. I'm guessing you were watching the Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, right? You were? Yeah. Not surprised right there. Big win for the Spurs as well. The good Spurs, some might say. Like Thierry Henry, for example. Bear with me, chat. I'm just making sure I get everything up to date before we move on to the next segment. Oh yeah, Skyline. What a championship game this morning too. Well done, PSG. Although I was going for Arsenal, it was a heck of a final. That was a heck of a final. Not necessarily in terms of quality of play on the field. I think, you know, Arsenal making it so physical made it difficult for PSG to get going. That early goal also kind of slowed them down, but you know what? It was dramatic and it was entertaining for sure. Does this mean Wonderwall were better than Axe? Well, you guys finished in 5th. Axe and Army finished in 4th, so I don't know what you're alluding to, Vigil, but I mean, you guys still had a good season, all things considered. So chat, we are not going to have any interviews for tonight. So we're going to wrap this up very soon. But before we do, let's take a look at the Premier Cup bracket updated right here. KC Cauldron now into the lower final to face off against La Cinco Doce. The winner of that match will face off against El Matador for the season 10.5 Premier Championship. Axe and Army finish off their season in 4th. Wonderwall Black finish off their season in 5th, having beaten Wonderwall 5th. Wonderwall finished in 6th. Frontera Chrome finished in 5th. My mistake. Wonderwall Black did lose to KC Cauldron, and that's what Vigil was alluding to. They won one game over Cauldron, whereas Axe and Army couldn't. But you know what? At the end of the day, they finished in 6th. Frontera Chrome in 5th. And KC Cauldron through to the lower final with Axe and Army finishing at 4th. So KC Cauldron guarantee a top 3 finish for themselves. But I'm sure both La Cinco Doce and KC Cauldron would rather go to the grand final instead of finishing off in 3rd place. You know, exactly, Vigil. Yeah, you did take a game off of this Cauldron team. And you know what? Credit to you for that, for sure. Meanwhile, in the Champ Cup, just a quick recap right there. As you see right there, EC Turtle beating Steel Army 4-2 to go into the lower final and face off against EC Defiance, the Seattle Derby in the lower final. Absolute cinema. Cannot wait to see that unfold. And the winner will go off to the grand final to face off against EM Dallas Burn. Meanwhile, in the 5th to 6th place match, Wonderwall Blue played against Los Verdes and beat them. Unfortunately, guys, Los Verdes could not get a game win. So Los Verdes finish off the season in 6th. Still looking for their first game win since the start of Season 10. Wonderwall Blue, though, finish off their first season in 5th place. Good finish for them in the end of the day. And overall, we have... I'm trying to... 4 more matches remaining. The 2 lore finals and then the grand final. We're almost done with this mini season just in time as well, because the World Cup is going to kick off in 11 days as well. And for now, we are going to be wrapping things up, chat. As you see right here, game 4 finished off 4-1 to KC Cauldron. An incredibly emphatic performance from that team in the end. Thorgold coming in and rotating amongst the starting trio from game 1 of Smitty, Serrano, and Fatality, and he looked like he was a great fit in this lineup, no matter who he came in for, providing the goals for the team when they needed them. And truly, this KC Cauldron side is one to take seriously as they go on to face the Cinco Doce in the lower final. But from the Only Mazar, that about does it for tonight, chat. Thank you all for joining us for this relatively short stream. Just one match, and it turned out to be a sweep for KC Cauldron. I'm going to go sign off and end the night here. Thank you all for joining us this Saturday night. We will see you when the lower finals get scheduled. Until then, have a good night, and peace.